So welcome to our podcast, first podcast of our group. So today we will discuss about the ASCP Molecular Biology license exam. Uh, I asked the questions in the group, and some of you asked, post your commented your questions. We'll try to answer that, and then we will try to also answer some of the questions from one of our group members. So the first question that we I got was it pretty hard? For me, yeah, it was pretty hard because all of the information, it's kind of information. If somebody does not know the information, it will be difficult. And also there was analytical part. I think analytical questions that if somebody does not know the concept, then it will be very much hard. So that's why reading the book is very important. So there has no shortcut. You need to take the preparations. Different people have different way to study, but you have to follow all the syllabus content from the ASCP. So this is the syllabus. The first one is molecular science. You can see for MP it's 20 to 25%. So mostly it is chapter 1 and chapter 2, something like that from the third edition. And for molecular techniques, it's kind of like 2, 3, 4, 5. So all the 5, 6. So the amplification part is very much important, and the sequencing for next generation sequencing is very, because it's the normal thing. The future will be next generation sequencing. There will be a lot of the next generation sequencing is getting cheap day by day. So that's why it's everyone gonna like that. And the next one is laboratory operation. I think it's chapter 15, and all of the chapters also there has some of the laboratory operations or how you're gonna prevent some contamination or something, and also like what is specificity, what is sensitive, that kind of concept. You should clear that kind of concept. And this part is for SMB. So if you are taking ASCP MB, so you are good. You can ignore that. And the fourth is application of molecular testing. It has 30 to 35%. So you can understand the importance. So this is, I think, chapter 11, 12, 13, 14. So all the chapters, to me, it was complicated and a lot of informations are there. So you need to spend some time. So this is 30 to 30%, and molecular techniques 30 to 35%. So you can understand which kind of topics you need to study a lot. Okay, so next is the book. So this is the so everything you see here, it's available in the ASCP website also. So you can see all the books for general molecular biology, application of molecular science, management. This part is only for SMB, so you can ignore that. And if you are MB prepare, you are taking MB preparation, and this is for mathematics. The thing is, I collected all the books, but it's very difficult to study with work and everything. And so a lot of our members also like doing study work, and then also like taking preparation for this thing. A lot of people go for their higher education in college, so it's difficult, but still we have to study. So this book is very important. Everyone said that molecular diagnostic fundamentals, methods, and clinical applications, Buckingham. I think everyone know about this book. So the chapter that I was talking about, this is the book. Uh, I collected everything, but only this book. I did not even get much time to study, so I have to very much precise like what. And there has only I got difficulty because the ASCP did not put much of the information, any videos or anything in the website or in YouTube or anything. I think they should put much of the information, some sample questions maybe or something, so that all the people will get some of the idea. But if it is not, what we can do. Uh, so the some of the questions that we got is like how long do you recommend to study for? Is there a specific order materials should be studied? Okay, how long do you recommend to study for? I think everyone is, at least you have bachelor's degree, so you know some of the molecular biology things. So the next thing is how much experience you have and how much knowledge you have. Different people has different individual to individual, it's gonna vary. So for me, it took like I try to take it easily. So meaning like not too much focus in this license exam. Rather than I took it long, I take long time to study slowly. Okay. So day by day, I studied, then I work, then I like that kind of way. So most of the people said 1 month is okay, but if you can fully focus on study for 1 month, I think 1 month will be okay because you have some of the background knowledge already. Right now you have to just precisely note some of the things that you need to remember and some of the questions that you need to just practice again and again. And for specific order materials, I think there has some of the Reddit people like 2 years or 3 years ago, some of the people that was very much helpful. They said, so don't buy study.com things. There has no, like, we don't have any of the problem with them. But the interesting thing is a lot of people said that was not helpful. So I did not have that much of like experience because I did not buy that because they said it was not helpful, and some of my friend also bought that, but their experience was very bad. So I did not buy that, but everyone said this is not good, so you do not need that. The second thing is I bought the Lela Buckingham book, 700 question things, ASCP MB Connect questions. So you can understand I spent a little bit of money, but what I can tell you after spending too much of money, um, the Lela book was the only thing that helped me. Then Quizlet, and then YouTube videos. There's a lot of YouTube videos regarding all the topics under molecular biology syllabus. Okay, if you get confused any of the thing, you can. So in our Discord also there has I think Tia Ferguson list. She made a very nice list. I think I got that everything from somebody else. Like a lot of people did that and they tried to put everything. So it's kind of hard work. I tried to like gather everything and. If anybody is very hardworking. So the thing is, all the basic idea of our group is to help each other because I got one of the person who has like 2 kids and she's doing her uh, like study with the job, so it's very difficult. So if she got some of the help from each other, like she will not gonna get much of the time for making notes or spending much of the time. So if we can help her by giving our notes that we make, or somebody, suppose somebody is making chapter 1, somebody is making chapter 2, and then we can discuss that kind of things. I think is very important for study, and sharing knowledge is very important. That is the motto of our group, and I think that group studies was very much helpful for me. So in Discord, try to find out who has exam next few days, who are very serious, who are trying to study very hard. Try to do some group studies. That kind of discussions for study. Group studies are very much important, like for education, I believe. So that's our motto. So for study specific order materials, what you need to study, just study the book, then discuss with any person who gonna take this exam very soon. There has a lot of people like in our Discord also who are very much keen to like take the exam very soon. So uh, you can just speak with them. The next is there some chapters into that we really do not need to focus on for the test? Nobody can tell that, I think. But what most of the people, I think, said after finishing their exam is like, um, if you, I believe you know about the electrophoresis things. Okay, I think ASCP also knows you know the electrophoresis things. So that's why if you spend little bit of less time, it will be okay. But for mute, like there has like chapters 11 for the bacterial like diagnosis and everything. That chapter 13 oncology. That kind of information is very a lot of information you need to remember, like translocation things for cancer things. Uh, that kind of chapter is I think most of the people need to spend some time and um, uh, so for ignoring, I would not suggest you to ignore any of the chapters, but if you wanna focus more of some chapters, so I would suggest chapter 6 is very important, like the amplification things, according to my opinion. So don't take it seriously or something. If it may affect you, I think you need to also use your brain, what you need more to focus. For me, it was like chapter 6. I had some confusion, so I spent more time than chapter. I believe DNA sequencing, next generation sequencing thing. Then I believe I spent more time on chapter 11, then chapter 13, chapter 12, and chapter 14 also, like the HLA things. It was a little bit interesting to me. And for math, I like math, so math kind of things I did not spend much of the time, like melting temperature math, and there's some of the concentration related math. You can do that. You should not just take risk. Okay, just don't ignore them. Just don't do that math, and also the paternity test related math. Whatever you see in the book, just follow that formula and rules. Try to remember that. I think you will be okay. And how much study should be focused on paternity index? So I was just talking about the primary square sex linked inheritance question. So the thing is, uh, there has only few formulas, so you can remember that. And regarding the like autosomal dominant or recessive, both or one parents, if affected, how it will gonna affect sons. If you understand the main basic concept, I think you will be fine. Just try to understand. I think in the Discord there is some of the people already like send me the pictures I shared with everyone, like how to solve that, what is the basic concept, because I think a lot of people does not have that kind of concept. So just check that. Were there many questions on southern, northern, western plot? So another interesting thing I just want to share is like when you finish the ASCP exam, they will say, I think you cannot just share the direct questions to anybody. Okay, so we are not allowed to like, I think nobody can share the questions specific, and also like after finishing the 2.5 hours of exam, your brain gonna adjust and you will not gonna remember the direct questions, I believe, because there is like a analytical kind of questions like for PCR. PCR, if you know how PCR works, how to design the primer, I think you will be fine. So if somebody are asking about any kind of stringency related questions, what is making what you need to do, if they give you one incident or any story, and then they ask you something, then you will be okay to answer that question. So I think that is okay. And for southern, northern, western blot, if you have done that in the lab, I think you'll be fine. For me, I had a real life experience, so I did not need to spend much of the time over there. So I think for you also, if you know the basic concept, you can just more focus on the other chapters that require more of your time. Should I memorize every syndrome and disease abnormalities? I think it will be insane to remember everything. You're gonna hurt your brain, and you're gonna die if you try to do that. Another thing for this thing is try to see all the like there has the Quizlet link in the Discord. Try to check that the 401. I think it's pretty much a lot. It is covered. So try to see that there has some of the files notes people made, like the Excel files or something regarding disorder, name disorder under the I think ASCP MB preparation channel or something. Try to study that. Try to remember that translocations. And also, I think one of our group members made one very nice note on chapter 13, oncology chapter. Please check that. That is very, and thanks. Give her thanks because she spent much time, and I think she gonna save some of your time. So give thanks to her. So that thing is very much important. You cannot just it's gonna be very difficult to do that. It's gonna take a lot of time. I believe only SCPMB give you 3 months to like schedule the uh, exam. So it will be difficult, but you can try. But I would suggest try to understand what is important, and then just try to remember that. Try to like every day try to read that. Try to find some mnemonics. Try to study with some group members. That kind of things helped me. I'm not sure how you study. Different people has different study uh, way to study. MB Connect question is it useful and near to exam questions. I would not suggest it was 100% similar. Some few was only few were related, but not everything. So try to focus the Lela book also in these Lela book questions also near to exam. For both of the questions, it's not 100%, I think, kind of similar according to my opinion. So I would say again that if your concept is clear, basic is clear, and you studied all the chapters nicely of Lela book, I think you will be okay. So that kind of questions, yeah, I think ASCP MB Connect questions, if you don't have money, like $40, don't think that you are losing something or something, because if you don't have money, it's okay. You don't have to buy that thing. If you finish the Lela book nicely, just study that, I think you will be okay. And there is a lot of questions from Lela book that I think if you try to read, you will understand, okay, no other like competitive of that kind of license questions will not gonna give that kind of questions. So that's the thing. Like not 100%. Nobody gonna say 100%, either this way or that way. Okay. So is there illustration questions like jail and you read it to answer? Again, the same thing. If you understand the jail, then you will be okay. So jail electrophysics can be used for a lot of purposes, right? For DNA, RNA, protein, and for the translocation things also. That used also, I think, for the gene or protein, something like this. So if you understand that concept, I think you will be okay. In HLA typing, what I should focus on this chapter. So for this thing, I think this chapter is little bit complicated. So try to watch some videos or understand the concept, basic concept, and you don't have to remember every other information from that chapter. It will be very difficult and insane. I think it is not a normal thing. Okay, so you don't have to hurt your brain. I think I answered all the questions. So now one of our group members, I think if she has any of the questions or any of the confusions, I think we can discuss that. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here, Abu.
Okay, so do you have any questions or anything that you want to discuss? Any particular questions or confusion you have?
No, like I think you covered most of the questions that I had.
Uh-huh.
But are the questions are like directly asked in the exam or like
So that's a good question. So everything is not informative, meaning you can understand, like you have to have that analytical ability to understand, okay, in some conditions, if something is changing, how it's going to affect the run, or in either cases. So that kind of, I think ASCP try to
so is
check
the
that
most of the
ability.
questions are like that or only few?
Uh, I just wanna answer that. Before that, I wanna tell you that ASCP MB thing is adaptive, right? So all the different people will gonna get different kind of questions. Meaning, it's gonna depend on your answer. Like the first question, how you gonna answer this? As this is adaptive, it's gonna go that way. So suppose the first question was informative, you did not get that, then it's gonna go be little bit easier questions. If you get that, then you will get little bit tough questions. If you get that, like if you get the correct answer, if you can correctly answer that, they're gonna give you a little bit correct answer. So that kind of way, I can say, like there will be some of the easy questions that are analytical. There has some of the tough questions that are analytical. For me, memorizing is little bit different. I try to remember this with some of the analytical ways. So that's why I would suggest, I would say it's gonna depend on the individual to individual, but obviously they will try to keep it in a balance, like not all the questions for you for the information and not all the questions for you for the analytical. But I think most of the people who already did that, they said it was kind of 50-50. So that's the case, but nobody can tell you like what will be in your case. Meaning, suppose somebody to got correct the first questions, then next question will be a little bit tough, right? But this, if other person does not correctly answer the first question, then they will get little bit like easy questions. So maybe that is analytical or maybe that is informative. Nobody knows. So I think is it
Okay.
clear? Like, am I answer your question?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, like and I have one more question. Like
Mhm.
so whoever like completed the exams, right? They always says that like try to cover the book and the Quizlets. So
Mhm.
how Quizlets is helping us? Can you please tell about that? Like,
So for my case, what I try to do, suppose I studied some of the so there has two Quizlet thing that is shared in our Discord. One is from Lulu and another is Funkton. So Lulu is like chapter wise. So suppose I study chapter 11, then I go to that chapter 11 thing and I try to read that all the questions. So I get an idea of what kind of questions may come. Okay, so uh, there has different way to ask the questions, but all that thing you don't need to do the like solve that because it's going to be very much difficult and you don't have that much time. So I try to do that first, then after finishing everything, or like also in the middle of something, also like I try to check that 400 Quizlet thing also. So 400 is a lot of questions, and in that 400 there is some of the conceptual questions that can cover 5 or 6 questions, meaning like there is some of the math, 3 or 4 different kind of maths, concentration
okay,
related math, paternity related math, then there has melting temperature related math, primer designing related math. That kind of things can cover a few like kind of questions. It's not like if you know that one questions, you can answer a lot of questions. Okay, so when you study the Quizlet, you will get an idea of what kind of questions gonna come, and it's gonna give you an direct vibe of like okay. Maybe these kind of questions gonna come. So Quizlet is very much helpful in that regards. Like I and most of the people who try to make that they try to make that from their experience. So it's kind of quite important. And a lot of people said Quizlet was helpful.
do
And
we get the same question, like a similar questions from Quizlets?
uh, yeah, I think so because see, molecular biology is very PCR is important, next generation sequencing is important. So if somebody wanna check your molecular biology test, they will definitely gonna ask that. Okay, so obviously some of the questions will be similar, but there has some of the questions that was a little bit different also. Like you should not expect 100% of the questions from Quizlet. It's not 100%. Okay, you can get some few. So how, in which way Quizlet can help? Like why people are saying, okay, Quizlet was helpful? Because it gives you an vibe of the exam, how it's gonna like how you can expect in the exam, what kind of things or questions. So that's the one thing, but you should not just totally only just study the Quizlet thing and rely on that. That's why people said study the Lela book thing. That's very important because if you check the syllabus also, like I'm not sure about a lot of people, but for me, like branch DNA, NASBA, then signal amplification related thing, that was kind of little bit new to me because it's not common in our daily
Mhm.
lab things, and we did not discuss much about this thing. We discussed about primer, PCR, electrophoresis, Western blot. We did all of that thing, right? But
Yeah.
that kind of topics, as it was little bit uncommon, and the oncology thing, we every day we don't tell okay for mantle cell lymphoma what is the translocation, right? So that kind of information, if that is uncommon, to me it was a little bit hard to remember because whatever I'm not seeing everyday life, it's a little bit difficult to like remember or during exam also. That's why I needed to spend much of the time over there. So that's why to answer your questions, like for studying that particular chapter and all the getting all the clear ideas about that questions. Like for me, I try to study the branch DNA. If I see it's a little bit difficult, I try to see all the at least all the figures and all the tables, and I try to understand okay which kind of questions can come and how I got that idea, like what kind of questions can come. It gets in my head after seeing again and again all the Quizlet questions. So if
Okay.
when you build up that kind of ability to make the questions, and you can ask yourself, okay, this thing can come, then you can prepare accordingly. And that then I also, like, if I don't know one of the concept and I don't understand one of the concept from reading the book, it may seem for a lot of people to not understand it. It takes, like, I think right now a lot of people does not have that much of like uh, focusing power also. I think day by day we have a lot of job and everything. So so it's very difficult to study the book. For me, it was. I try to check some videos. If somebody made some of the like 2 or 3 minutes videos that help me a lot to understand any of the concept, I think that is helpful. So I think anybody can check that. Like try to study one concept, and then if you don't understand, then go to YouTube and check if there are any of the videos available on that topic or not. If
Okay.
not, then try to read the book. There are some of the topic, I think for NASBA, you will not gonna get much of the videos. Just read the book. If you read the book, I think you will be okay. So
Which chapter?
so oh no, I'm just
Okay.
talking about in general one of the
In
examples, like
general.
for NASBA, right? Right, that's the transcription
Mm-hmm.
amplification process, like TMA, NASBA 3SR. So that kind of things, I think you can just read the book, check all the figures in the from the book, and try to understand as much as you can.
Okay. So, like, are they covered all the chapters on your exam?
Mm, that's another questions also. So covering that thing also depends on your answers, like what kind of questions gonna come. Suppose um, so the another interesting thing I just forgot to add. I think a lot of people does not understand, because I did not know. So one of the persons like described me. So for adaptive questions, how it works. Suppose somebody are trying to uh, answer all the wrong answers. So the next questions will be little bit easier. Then suppose he knows the answer, but intentionally he's making it like a wrong answer, wrong answer, wrong answer. So what's gonna happen is, like, after finishing 100 questions, then when you gonna review, you can then like try to come back and try to make it everything correct. And what's gonna happen is, like, uh, uh, you will gonna correct like 100 of the questions, but uh, that I think it does not work like that way. So why? Because that's why, like, the adaptive question is very much important, because um, uh,
So once you submit the answer, you cannot review your answers, right?
um, when you submit the answer, you can review the answer, but the thing is, uh, so see, all the questions are sum of the difficulty level, right? You
Mhm.
have to get the 400 point, but all the questions does not have the similar way. If you have the idea about GRE questions, or the MCAT, or the SAT, that kind of that, I think all that, like, adaptive question tests that are adaptive, like, what happens is, like, every question does not have the similar point, meaning, like, there has 100 questions, every question says like 4 points, like 6 points, so you need to get uh, every question says 10 points, you need to get only 40 correct to get 400. It does not work like that way. So you have to have, there has a certain level, like 400 level difficulty, that you need to cross. Meaning, suppose you are making one correct, the first one correct, then little bit difficult. Second one you got correct, then difficult, correct. In this way, you got all the questions till 40 or 50 correct. Then you got wrong something. Then you got down. But you already crossed that difficulty level, 400 level, right?
Mhm.
If you don't correct, like, after that also, if you cross that difficulty level, I think it works like that way. So that's why, like, what uh, uh, when I was discussing with that person, what he said is like, try to give the answer according to your ability, like meaning like whatever you best know in the first when you will try to solve that question, try to give the best answer that you know.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a very important thing. And don't you? I think you cannot skip. I think you can skip or something, but it is not a good thing to. I think you cannot skip because based on your answer, the next question is gonna come. So try to. That's why you need to use your whole knowledge to give the correct answer in the first time. But still, like somehow, if you miss something or if you don't remember say in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then after finishing all the questions, they will there is a review button. You can review all the questions and you can change. But the suggestion is try to give the correct answer at the first time. Okay, don't make it like, okay, I'm just choosing one thing. Okay, I'm gonna go. Just whatever you believe is right answer, just check that and go ahead. And you can come back and you can check all the flag question. I also, like before beginning your questions, I think ASCP is gonna tell you, okay, this way you can flag, and then you can come back and you can check. Uh,
Okay.
but the best way to put that is like, okay, do that first time, then you can check, but don't think too much way, because when you did in the first time, the intention is always mostly correct. If you change most of the questions, you're gonna change it to the wrong questions. That's the, I think, human psychology works. So just go with the
Okay.
first time, and you can check later, but that will not gonna work. If you know something, you know something. If you don't know, I think that was the thing. Uh, that was the way to see the thing, Billy.
Okay. Okay. I get it.
Okay, so any more questions?
I think I'm good now.
Okay, so best of luck. I think you have the exam very soon. So what you can do, I would suggest you to just do as much as group study. Try to make some mnemonic for all that things that you don't remember, and
Mhm.
discuss with all the group members, like whoever has exams. I think some, like there is a lot of people who has exams next month, so you can discuss with them.
Okay.
And try to spend some time, because I know, I think the other members who passed also, like she tried to take like 2 or 3 days off, and I also take like 1 week of off to just fully focus on the study. So I think it's important to just study,
Okay.
spend some time. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
best of luck, and thank you so much for joining.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Abu, for doing this one.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay,
Thank you. Yeah. Congratulations again. Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.